Hi, I'm Sue. Today we are going to look at the HTVRont Tumbler Press. Looks pretty nifty from first glance. Looking at a mug, we're going to test some mugs, time and temp, a tumbler, which was a bit of a fail. Sorry for the editing, it's a little bit wobbly because I was at my friend's house and we were handheld and we were giggling too. We're going to also test some sublimation pens. So if you've got no printer, this tumbler will still work. We're going to show you that. And also at the end, I'll put some video on my thoughts. Hi, I'm at my friend's place today to have a look at her HTVRont heat press, her tumbler press. It's a tumbler and mug. So we're going to have a little go at looking at it. All she's done is lifted it out of the box and it's on the table. We haven't set it up or tried it. So we'll see how we go with it. I brought some mugs with me and a tumbler and we'll have a little go. Talk to you in a minute. We'll just go and plug it in. Okay, so this is it. It's just been lifted out of the box. We haven't plugged it in or anything. It's a pretty nifty little design. This bit comes across here. It's got the settings on the front here. It comes with its manual. It's not too bad a manual. It's an Australian model, so it's come with an Australian plug. And we will go and plug it in and turn it on. Okay, so we're ready. I've popped a cup in here. Just I saw something that said to not heat it up without something in there. My other one I just heat up without something in, and I can't see anything in the instructions to say pop something in, but we're doing it just in case because it's brand new and we don't want to do anything wrong. So this little button here flashes and that's on like a standby. So when it's flashing like that, standby. And here's your temperature and time settings and plus or minus. And this one here, it works. This looks like it's going to work exactly like the HTVRont Locklick heat presses, the auto press. And when this red button, it will be red when it's heating, and then it will go green when it's ready to press. Change the time and temperature. You hold the temp button down for 3 seconds to change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So I've just done that. And the plus and minus will adjust the time. So you just press that, either the time or the temp quickly, and then it will flash and you can change the time and the temp. These are the recommended times and temps, but we didn't use those because we found they were a bit not quite right. And I'm going to test a tumbler first. I've got the setting for 190 degrees Celsius, which is about 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and 150 seconds. Now the instructions said longer than that, but we're going to test that because it's a lot. I do a lot of tumblers and their suggestions seem very long. So we'll go with this and just see what it's like. Okay, opens up nicely. And I'm just going to get it out and have a bit of a look at it. Glad we adjusted the settings a little bit. You can just see the design coming through the paper. And it seems quite hot, so I'm thinking it's not too bad. I'll just let it cool down and I'll be back. So this is a 15-ounce mug, which only just fit in the press. It is 83 millimeters across the diameter, or 3¼ inches, and we had a little bit of trouble getting it in. We have put baking paper around the press and also around the mug to protect the press a bit. You can use butcher paper, or you'll see what we tried next after this. We took this out before it was time, because the time was meant to be 360 to 480. We took it out at 240. And we're pleased we did, and I'll show you the results shortly. Next, we tried the Teflon sheet in the tumbler press, and it was much easier to get the bigger mug into the press, which was good. We set the timer for 240 this time, so it went much easier. This was the burnt paper before that we could smell when we turned it off before. So we got a bit of a worry. We thought, oh, so that's when we turned off at 240. And 240 for us seemed to be a good time and temp. And I'll show you those in a minute too. Next, we tried the sublimation pen. So we went off and did some designs. Between us, we had 3 sets of sublimation pens, would you believe? So if you're using a ScanNCut, the Cricut ones work, but you need to use either a universal pen holder and pop a little bit of tape around there, or you can also use a 3D Fun Prints holder, and they fit in there too, with or without the tape, they will fit in there. The tape is very easy to put on for the ScanNCut if you've got the universal holder. So we did that next, and this one was that one. We used the Teflon again. We can see we've got baking paper around it as well, and we set it going at 240. And this is what it turned out like. So this is the one with the markers, the Cricut sublimation pen markers, and looks pretty good, and we'll have a look what they turned out like. So we let it cool, and we've taken the paper off. This is the first one we did. It's a fine, I'm fine, everything's fine, and the black turned out beautiful, so we're really happy with that mug. The design is from Creative Fabrica, and this one was also from Creative Fabrica, and I've just added writing. The colour's perfect. I'll put some links in the description. This is Margaret with the Infusible ink writing, so did it with the writing, and that's easy enough. If you don't have a printer, that's a great way to do it. You can also purchase Infusible ink paper and I think paint as well. I haven't tried the paint in the tumbler press or the heat press, but the paint as well is available. This was the one that only just fit. Beautiful mug. I love this mug, but it did only just fit, but it's done a great job. So I'm pretty pleased how the colour has come up, and everything's turned out really well, but it was a little tiny squeeze to get it in. And this is the 10, I'm not sure if it's 10 or 11 ounce mug, my friend can't remember. It's one of hers. We did the same thing. We put the writing on it with the Infusible markers. It turned out pretty good. This is our failure. This turns out beautiful. I've done this a few times now, and it turns out normally very beautiful. But today we've just left it in a little long. We put it in at 150 seconds, and we should have, I think, pulled it out at 120 seconds because the black is just a little bit burnt. You can see the writing's fine. The green's coat with the time, but the black has not, doesn't normally have those brown bits. Anyway, these are our time and temps. So we burnt the black areas on our tumbler at 190 and 150, so we recommend 120 seconds to try anyway. And the best time for our mugs was 190 Celsius and 240 seconds. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please join me again for the next one. And I highly recommend the tumbler press, the HTVRont Tumbler Press, as it did a great job. It's great for sublimation using HTV if you want to do mugs and tumblers with HTV. So I think this is a big tick. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and join me next time when I present our next video. See you then. Bye.